Okay, in this video, we'll be showing you how to use a section view. Use a Flatshot command to make a section view of a 3D object. This is going to be an update to my previous Flatshot videos. I'm using the same object and the same multi-view, just after the realization that on the final you're going to need to have either a section view or an auxiliary view of some sort of face of the object, just depending on what your object looks like and how you want your drawing to look. Um, Either a section view or an auxiliary view, you could just sketch by hand. Um, but if you've already got a three-dimensional setup, which is fun, I mean, why wouldn't you have a 3D object setup? You could just quickly use a flat shot to get that section to set up. So if you'll remember, I've got a square hole and a cylindrical hole that are intersecting in the middle of this block. If I think I'd like to show some more detail of that, what I can do is I will just, you can see I've already saved a copy. That's important. I saved a copy of my class 10 block, and I called it class 10 block section. This is so that I don't cut a big plane through the middle of my actual three-dimensional saw. This is just a copy that I can mess up however I'd like. So I'll use a slice command. I'd like to slice my block. So keep in mind you have to pick a 3-point to specify your 3 points if you want to specify a slicing plane. So I will specify, find the midpoints, got my midpoint on. So I'll grab my 3 midpoints. Specify a point on the desired side. I'm going to keep both sides just in case. I know that sometimes I click on what I think is the desired side and it gets rid of the one I don't want. So with keeping the desired side, with keeping both sides as desired, it turns it into 2 objects, and then I can just delete the one I don't want by hand. So here we go. I've got the part in question. So I'll bring myself over into the left view, and I'm ready to do another flat shot. So I've got the same color and line type setup from the last flat shot video. So I'm going to save this one as, I'll call it block 10 section. I'll save that. So then I'll go ahead and create. Okay, so now I'm ready to put that guy back into my multi-view. You may notice this is probably going to be a little bit different. I didn't remember to save my multi-view the previous time, so I just quickly put this back together. So you can see I'm missing things like my center lines I started drawing last time. So I'll go ahead and insert the, I said block 10 section, and I'll put it distance of 2. That's the spacing I've been using. Oops. That ended up a little high for some reason, so there we go. Okay, so if you'll remember when I took the section plane just now, I cut through these 2 faces. So that's where I want to put my hatch, just like hand drawing. I want to put a hatch wherever I cut through my object. So to do that, I will just simply explode the object so that I can access the lines. I'm going to join a boundary for where I want the hatch to be. So I'll just select all the lines I want, do join, do the same thing on the other side, join those lines, and I'll go ahead and do a hatch. So that's the swatch I want. I'll do I've got my island detection on for normal. Scale 1, I'll leave it as 1 because I'm actually, this is new. Normally the hatch is associative. I want to make sure I do an annotative hatch so that the hatch spacing scales along with everything else. So I'm ready to go. I'll just select my objects, which are these 2 boundaries, hit enter, and I'll hit OK. Whoops. It's interesting, my hatch seems to have escaped the area I wanted to hatch, so I must have forgotten to join a line somewhere along the way. Huh, that's interesting. Let's try that one more time, see what happens. I'll just do one hatch at a time, since that seems to be that's causing a problem. Just for the sake of time, I'll just do the one. Do the same thing. So I'll have two separate hatches, but that's no big deal. So you can see that I've got now with the hatch, the new thing is I've got that annotative symbol popping up. I happen to know that a scale of 1 to 4 is going to be about the right size for my printout. So I'll just be putting everything as 1 to 4 so far. And I've got my dimension style and text style set up for a 1 to 4 annotative as well. So the next thing I need to do, just like hand drawing, is I need to specify a phantom line for where I took that cut. So you can see I made a section line, or a section layer. I went in and loaded a phantom line type. Color, I'll use blue, the same as the hatch. So I'll go ahead and draw myself a line. I'll start 0.5 down from the bottom. I'll go ahead and turn my snap on so I can get, I want ½ an inch up from there. So that's good. I'll hit enter. So to get those arrows to specify which way I'm looking at the cutting plane, I'm going to use a leader. So the leader start point is the point of the arrow. It's pretty similar to if you did a radius dimension or something, where you click on the edge of the arc, that's where it starts that arrow for the leader for the radius. So I will just come out about an inch, go to the end point. Happy with that one. Okay, so enter first line of annotation text. A leader, the default, it wants to put in text at the end of that arrow. I'm going to hit enter because I don't want any text. And now it's saying, well, wait, you didn't put any text in, so what do you want to do about this leader? I'm just going to select none, so because I just want that arrow. Okay, so I'm happy with that, so I will... Actually, I'm going to make the arrow a little bigger so it stands out a little better. Looks like it ended up in my standard dimension style somehow. So to make that arrow stand out just a little bit better, I'm going to change the arrow size. It's currently at 0.45. I'll change it to, oh, I don't know, 0.8. Just to say, whoops. I say my arrow size appears to be going the wrong way. Turn off that for now and change to 2.5. Okay, it's had some sort of problem with that. It appears to be fixed now. So I'm making the arrow just a little bit bigger to specify that I'm not working with a dimension here, and that's a section plane line. So I'll copy that one down to the bottom. I'm putting my arrows facing this direction since I know I rotated around to the left to take that section plane. So I'll be, if I were looking at the side of this, if I was looking at the front, I know that the section view is looking this direction towards the right side of the block. So I'd be looking at the left face. Okay, so you can see that I've got something interesting going on with the spacing. It's not showing me that phantom spacing for this line. So sometimes with annotative, an interesting problem that happens is it does something weird with the line type scale. So I'm going to change my line type scale to